So if you're like me and you really enjoy collecting watches, which I assume you do because, well, you're watching this video anyway, but let's just say your budget is in the $500 and under end of the spectrum. Well, today I've put together a few watches to look at that are under $200. Let's take a look. Hello and welcome to Infinite Chronos. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we will be looking at a few watches today that are under $200 and they are available on Amazon and AliExpress. Now, a couple of things that we should go over first before we begin the reviews. First of all, I am an affiliate of both Amazon and AliExpress. So if you do use the links below in the description to purchase a watch, I do receive a commission for that. Very small commission. Now, that does not affect the price of the watch that you are paying. Secondly, I don't mind homage watches. I like homage watches. I think they're really nice. If they're done right, I think they look beautiful. You may not, and that's okay. If you don't like them, don't worry about it. Third, we're going to be looking at some quartz. We're going to be looking at some digital. We're going to be looking at some automatic watches as well. So with all of that out of the way, let's begin. Okay, so the first watch we're going to take a look at today is the Casio GWM5610-1. Now, this is basically an updated Casio G-Shock DW5600, okay? Again, this is from the G-Shock line, so you're getting your typical things with G-Shock, things like 200-meter water resistance. This one, you're getting a tough solar. You're also getting multi-band 6. You're also getting a stopwatch, 5 alarms, a countdown timer, and a world timer. Now, you're getting all of this for $91 on Amazon right now. Now, if you're not really looking for all of those things, they do have other models without all of those features for a lot less, and those are also in the links below. Now, what is my take on this GWM 5610? Well, first of all, I think it's a really nice watch, and I think it's been updated very well. I do like the fact that they've added tough solar to this. The tough solar really is a good feature. It really keeps you from having to change batteries all the time. As long as it's getting charged in the sunlight or any type of artificial light, you're okay. The one thing that I don't necessarily like too much on this, or I kind of think is more of a gimmick, is the multiband 6. Now, what multiband 6 does is it actually is providing through radio waves updated time to watches that do receive it or any other items that do receive it. Now, typically a quartz watch is accurate to plus or minus 15 seconds in a month, and that's really good. But do you actually need multiband 6? Now, if you work in a field perhaps where minute accuracy is absolutely important, then that might be something you might be looking for. Now, multiband 6 does not change the actual time if you go from one time zone to another. It won't do that. It only works on the 1 minute level and so forth. So I don't think that's necessarily something you need to have, but you might feel differently. You may work in a field where you have to have that, and that's something you can decide for yourself. The one thing I really do like about it, though, is the tough solar. I think it's a great idea, and having it for $91, you're just not going to go wrong. Okay, so next up we have the Steeldive 1970. This is available on AliExpress. Now, this has 200 meters of water resistance, has a sapphire crystal, stainless steel bracelet. It's running on a Seiko NH35 automatic movement, which is very rock solid and very durable. It has a ceramic bezel, and it has an insane amount of lume on the hands, the indices, and on the actual bezel itself. Not to mention it has a signed crown and it has a signed and etched case back. This is without a doubt an incredibly fantastic watch. And right now it's available on AliExpress for $67. Now that is just crazy how little that costs to get all of that in an automatic watch. Obviously, the NH35 is, like I mentioned, a rock solid movement. It's very durable. It's in tons and tons of mechanical and automatic watches. And I really believe that this is a great watch for anybody to pick up that's starting their watch collecting journey. So why don't you go and check that one out? Okay, so next up we're going to look at a chronograph. This one is the Timex Q Chrono. Now, this is a very vintage inspired chronograph. It comes in a panda dial and a reverse panda dial. I typically like the panda dial because it's easier to read the indices on the dial against the black dial face. Now, it has an acrylic crystal. It has 50 meters of water resistance, which is typical for most kind of chronographs, and it is powered by an Epsom YM12A quartz movement. Now, the nice thing about this quartz movement is that when you do use the chronograph, the second hand has a sweeping motion that mimics a typical mechanical type of a movement, which is a really nice touch. It has an aluminum bezel tachymeter, and it has a very vintage feel. I really like this watch. I think it's really nice. It just kind of inspires me back into the era of, car racing internationally, like in Le Mans or Grand Prix or Monaco or something like that. Very vintage inspired. This watch you can pick up on Amazon for around $145. So if you're looking to get a real vintagey inspired type of a chronograph, give the Timex Q Chrono a look. So if you're looking for a dive watch, and I do mean like a true professional type dive watch, then you really don't need to look any further than the Citizen ProMaster Marine. This is an ISO certified dive watch. It is rated to 200 meters of water resistance. It has a really good amount of lume on the dial and the hands. It is powered by Citizen's EcoDrive movement, which is their solar drive that they have. It's powered by the sun and it charges the battery, and on a full charge it can last for about 6 months. Now, you get all of this, and then of course the history that goes along with Citizen watches and their ProMaster series. You're getting all of this for $188 on Amazon. So if you're really looking to get into a professional dive watch, you really can't go wrong with this one. So if you're looking for an automatic GMT and you don't mind an homage, then let me introduce you to the Pagani Design PD 1784. Now, I need to let you know this is a straight up homage of the Longines Spirit Zulu time. Now, the Spirit Zulu time comes in at about $3,000, but this Pagani Design comes in at a fraction of that cost. You get with this Pagani Design 200 meters of water resistance. You are getting a sapphire crystal. You are getting the Seiko NH34 movement, which is their GMT movement. And you are also getting a really good amount of lume on this watch. Now, what is my take on this? Quite honestly, I really do like the Spirit Zulu time, but there's no way I'm going to spend $3,000 on a watch like that. It's just going to sit in a watch case for me, and I think watches should be worn. Now, you might feel different and you may not like homages, and that's okay. No judging here. But I think overall, if you're looking to get a really nicely put together watch that is a GMT and you really don't mind an homage, you really should take a look at this Pagani Design PD 1784. It comes in at around $199.99. So we started off with Casio and we're going to end with Casio. I'm going to talk to you about the Casio MDV106, the Duro. What can I say about this watch that hasn't already been said? This is really a watch that's kind of achieved an iconic status. It has 200 meters of water resistance. It has a screw-down crown. It has a screw-down case back. It's got an etching of a marlin on the back. It also has a little marlin printed at the 6 o'clock position below the pinion on the dial. The lume isn't all that great, but what do you expect for the money you're going to be spending on this watch? It has a 120 click bezel, and it comes in a whole bunch of different colors. And now it even comes on a bracelet. Right now you can get this watch on Amazon for $47. That's on the resin strap that it comes in. And to go even further, I have heard people leave comments for me on other videos that I've made about this watch saying that they've picked it up at a Walmart for $11. That is just absolutely unheard of. So if you're looking to get any of these watches at all, I really can't recommend the Casio Duro enough. It is just a fantastic, fantastic watch. And you can put all kinds of different straps on this. Well, there you go. 6 different watches, all for under $200 each. What are your thoughts? Why don't you leave me a comment below and let me know what you're thinking about these. Also, if you see other watches that are under that $200 mark that you think we should all know about, leave a comment then too and let me know which ones you find. While you're there, also leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Now, if you'd like to see my full review of the Casio Duro or the Steeldive 1970, click over here. Lastly, I'd like to thank everybody who has subscribed to my channel and got me over the 100 subscriber mark. I really couldn't have done it without you, so thank you very much, and thanks for watching.